With tariffs, delays, media blackouts, and price hikes, will home arcade survive? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and a special Memorial Day weekend episode of this week. This is going to be episode 188, and it's the show that we talk about what happened this week in home arcade, episode 188. Man, I'm glad I made it. It's been a busy 2 days. I don't know about you, but you think, okay, I got 3 days. I can just stretch out my normal stuff and I'll have a nice, easy weekend. That doesn't really happen. Not always the case. Sometimes you try to cram too much stuff in. So I've been busy yesterday and today. Maybe some of you have been also trying to take advantage of some of the weather that has actually been good for a change here in the Cincinnati area. It's been rough. It's been varying degrees of rain, wet, just nastiness. So we've had a few good days of sunshine. So trying to get out there and get some yard work done has been something that's been a priority once the weather does break. All that being said, it is a great weekend to take some time. Here in the States, we have a day called Memorial Day, and it is a time to remember not the people that served, not just the people that served, but the people that actually served and paid the ultimate sacrifice in the pursuit of freedom and defense of this country. And as a way to kind of celebrate later on in the show, we're going to do a giveaway, something from my merch store. Just a little way to say thanks for you maybe taking the time to take a little bit of your holiday weekend out and spend an hour with me. I appreciate it. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you'll be eligible to win something from my merch store, everybody. Man, like I said, glad the weekend is kind of winding down tomorrow. Got a whole bunch of nothing planned. A little bit of something, but a whole lot of nothing. Let's talk about what's in my glass over here to the right-hand side, and that is Basil Hayden Toast. We're going to go ahead and keep on going with one of my favorites, if not the favorite. Over $50, you know, it's not too bad. Under $50, everybody knows that the one to go to, my go-to bourbon is definitely Jefferson's for sure. But if you don't mind spending a little bit more, a few more dollars, you can't really go wrong with Basil Hayden Toast, in my personal opinion. So in honor of Memorial Day, we'll do the giveaway a little bit later, but for right now, cheers. So that's what I'm drinking. That's what's going on this weekend. Let's talk about something that's going on right now in the show, and that is the poll question. We have one every single week. This week is no exception. Jump on over in the live chat, and you'll see the poll question, if my mouse can cooperate. Here is the question that there's a misspelling. I know. I know. The question was, which company do you most want to survive in 2025? I think I misspelled do and it's so, and it's been a long weekend so far. So forgive me. But the question is, which of the following home arcade companies do you most want to see survive in 2025? Not the one that you think is going to survive, the one that you really want to succeed the very most. Which one is it? You got four options. You got Arcade 1-Up, Iconic Arcade, Basic Fun, and At Games. Let me know. Jump up there. Vote in the poll question. It's very important because I really want to know where everybody's at. I think this question will tell us a lot. I think everybody may have some assumptions on which company will survive. I want to know, which company are you really rooting for? Because as we've seen so far, we're about halfway through. 2025 has been really, really rough for home arcades. I mean, it was already kind of on a downhill slope. We had some signs of life with Basic Fun, but then trade wars happened, and now everything is pretty much basically on hold. We'll talk about some of this stuff a little bit later on tonight, but I want everybody to really jump in and vote, and I want to get your feedback tonight on a bunch of different questions. We're going to have an open discussion tonight. We're going to talk about some stuff. I got a few things queued up, but we got to talk about some of the stuff that's been going on lately, what it means, what I think it doesn't mean. So we'll talk about all that. So let's go ahead and say hi to the top 10 comments, the first 10 comments over here. Posted the show at 109, and in record time. We have Zero Cool coming in at 111 in the number one spot. Thank you so much for being here, buddy, and taking the coveted number one spot. Cheers. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. Thank you so much, man, and indeed, cheers for everybody. Coming in the number two spot is JJ. What's going on, buddy? First, sorry, so very close. The time is actually the same. It just pushed Zero Cool ahead of you just by a smidge. So yes, Home Arcade will survive. Absolutely, absolutely. He also follows that up with, Zero Cool, you beat me to the pole position in that chat. Memorial Day racing themed comment. I like it. I love where your head's at. Also like where this guy's head is at every single week. It's usually right here watching this show. Kevin Clausen in the number 3 spot. What's going on, buddy? Always good to see you. When is it time for me to sail off into the sunset? There are 2 things I need from you. I'm sorry, when it is time for me to sail off into the sunset. There are 2 things that he needs from me. Please, spread my remains across the beach. And 2, I don't want to be cremated. Well, that's going to be You should have led with that. Actually, what you should have done. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. And also thank you for the gift of a membership. It is always appreciated. Memberships get you after show access every single week, behind the scenes stuff, and some special giveaways for those that actually stay members for some time. I think I have that pulled up tonight. We're going to talk about that in the after show. After this show, that's why I call it the after show. So we'll talk about the new platinum reward I have picked out for all my members. Coming in the number 4 spot is Prince Vinny. What the hell is going on, buddy? Great to see you as always. How you doing, Fox? I made it on the top 10. Am I place number 5? No, you were place number 4. Congratulations. Congratulations. Coming in number 6 spot, or the 5 spot, is Frank D. What's going on, man? I think I'm going to have Mountain Dew and vodka tonight. It's really tasty. I'm not going to lie. I kind of want to try that. Good luck. Hope your heart doesn't explode. Coming in the number 6 spot is Show Gecko. What's going on, buddy? Hello, folks. I'll be having my Miller Lite for my beverage. Very good. Cheers, everyone. Cheers to vodka and Mountain Dew. I can't condone it, but it could be really good. I don't know. And cheers to Miller Lite, guys. Always a good time to kick back and relax, knowing you don't have to go to work tomorrow. So that's definitely a good thing for sure. Helps us maybe have that. Maybe we can get that second glass tonight. We'll see. We'll see. Coming in number 7 spot is Angela P. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you as always. Good evening, Fox and chat. Happy Memorial Day weekend to you and everyone else who has served. Thank you so much, man. It was an honor to serve. Coming in the number 8 spot is Ghost Rider 59 in honor of so many us. Absolutely, man. Atheist of the North is got the coveted 9 spot. They're all coveted, right? Damn, not quick. No, you made it. You made it. You came in the number. You second guessed himself. No, you made the number 9 spot. Good job. And coming in the final, rounding out the top 10 is going to be David G. What's going on? Sup, Fox? USA. That's right. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. We also have Chris Ford. We have Cat Dad's Arcade. We have Danzy. We have Israel Gaming. We have Jason Lil Alien. Mod Like a Mofo. Thank you so much for being here. Nova Sonic 23. Danzy. And then Fox is in the chat talking about how everybody should check out my merch store. It is the pinned comment in the chat. If you want to check something out, look at a hat, a t-shirt. It all helps the channel for sure. Calvin Wong is here. Dane Bramage. I keep messing up your last name. It just messes me up. My mind is wanting to say something, the right thing, and you got me all messed up and confused. Gramps Arcade. Mike Hawkhurts is also here. Sir Sega is here. We got Tammy G. Miss G. How are you? Great to see you. Thank you for your service to everyone and anyone who has served our great country. Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. Let me scroll down. We got the Real Zim is also in his house. We got J Rod up in here. We have scrolling down Galaxy Guy 88. What's going on? Glad to see you made it, and really glad to see that the $50 Dragon's Lair purchase was indeed not a scam. Awesome. Great to see. That just goes to show you that there are some deals out there that can be had. It's possible. It can happen. The Be Me is also here. Good to see you. MSU Rich, my brother, how are you doing? Bob, how the hell are you and the boys? Hope you're having a great weekend, brother. As always, we got Anna with us, and this just to make this all just worthwhile. One of the things I really love is a super chat coming in the form of $9.99 from NASA Canes fan. What's going on, buddy? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your $10 super chat. I would buy a Tron cab if Basic Fun were to release one. I missed out with Arcade 1-Up. I actually know a guy. He's a Galaga guy, 88, who has one right now. I think it's for sale. He may even be posting it for sale here in the near future. So maybe message him in the chat. He should be here right now. Reach out to him. But yes, I think that if Basic Fun takes a stab at some of these cabinets that Arcade 1-Up made that I think were absolute hits, cherished cabs to this day, I think that everybody would be excited. I think that everybody would have the would really love the opportunity to purchase one. We just need more details, right? That's kind of my thing. I'd never encourage, well, I'm not going to say never. I have been a little excited at times. But I want to encourage everybody to get excited, to voice your opinion, tell these companies what we want, but also demand some accountability right off the bat. Before we just go pre-ordering any old thing, let us know exactly what it is we're going to be getting. Tron will be a really good one. Of course, you got Star Wars. You've got, I think Dragon's Lair is another good one. I think if they could move away from the risered versions, that would distinguish them enough. Also, like you said, there's so many people that didn't get the opportunity to get that Tron or get that Dragon's Lair. Burger Time, another example. And then, of course, WrestleFest being one of those rumored cabs. Everybody's pretty excited. There's a lot of stuff to be excited for. Let's hope that the execution is as flawless as the idea in general. Thank you so much again for your super chat. It's nice. I like it. I'm going to stay right here, but you got to go to the pit.
Finish him. Melina wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
We have somebody with a negative point of view, or negative outlook, I should say. Just hoping the country survives in 2025. You and me both, brother. You and me both, because we all got to live here. So I absolutely hope that it does survive. We got Vic Vicious is also here. We got B Kirby. What's going on, buddy? Looking forward to seeing you very soon. Oh my gosh, what is this? 1-Up is dead? No, they're thriving. 1-Up is dead. At Games only has 2 products. Iconic is just another Street Fighter. Basic Fun, we have yet to see a product. I don't know who I think will survive. Well, which one are you rooting for? That question is, who do you want to see survive? That's why the question is a little bit different. So take your time and vote in the poll. I really want to know what everybody thinks. Really want to know what everybody thinks. Brooklyn Menace, buddy. Always good to see you. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. John J is also here. AWOL 101, what up, Sarge? Whoa. We got Mike Dredd is also here. Hey, I love Tariffs. They're the greatest. I'm picking up on your sarcasm. I think we also said hi to Novasonic 23. Fox's Arcade will survive. Yes. My arcade will survive. And hopefully your arcade will survive too. Okay, so we got some things to talk to, but general topics, general open for discussion. And one thing I want to talk about is selfishly my arcade and where I'm at. So 2 weeks ago, I revealed that I was going to be partnering with Big Gun Arcades to have we're going to do a collaboration. We're going to do a special custom one-off pedestal. Not gonna reveal the design, not gonna reveal any of that yet because, well, one, I really don't have it. Second, I don't want to spoil the surprise. So in order to make room for this and actually afford the thing, some things have to go. We've talked about this a lot. I have a small arcade. Many of you have a small arcade space. And that's not bad when you fill them up with arcade 1-Ups. You can fit a lot of arcade 1-Ups in this space. But once you go big, you obviously you can fit less. It's not rocket science. So yeah, you're going to fit less in this space. So unfortunately, something had to go to make room for it and to drum up some cash because, like you, I'm not filthy rich. Well, some of you are filthy rich. Some of you. Or maybe just rich, not filthy. Hey, James, how are you, man? Good to see you. So yes, something had to go. The sale was final as of yesterday. And so today, Outrun, unfortunately, is back in the garage. This is the staging area for the pallet we're going to have to make to get this thing shipped out. So this thing's probably going to be shipped out Thursday or Friday, maybe tomorrow. This week sometime for sure. I'll be working on the pallet to put all this together and ship it off. It's gone, or it's going to be gone. And it was a great cab. I had a lot of fun with it. It's a super clean cab. The guy that's getting this is getting a good cab. He's also getting an extra board, the Chihiro board. You remember I had that issue with the with the ROM, the actual drive, the G ROM. I think it's the GD ROM. That drive kind of went out. The disc is still good, and the main board is still good. So I'm going to include all that stuff in there, including the original version of the game, with the new, obviously the new board that's currently running in the cab now. So the guy's going to get a good deal. He's got a super clean cab. I'm happy to be giving it a new home. This guy's an enthusiast over in Pennsylvania near Scranton. So we're going to have to ship it. I wanted to go. I thought about going. Always love going to Scranton, and get my office feels, but unfortunately, just not going to work out. Not on the cards this time. So that is gone. We're going to be gone very soon. So, and then also, that T2 is also going to have to go. T2 is going to go because this is a gun game, so we're going to get rid of T2. These are the real world decisions we have to make when we're dealing with a hobby that is full of expensive machines that take up a lot of room. A lot of space. So a lot of us are doing this. We've been doing this for a while. As your arcades begin to shift and change, even if you keep all 1-ups or all 3/4 scope cabs, you eventually get to this point where something has to go. You can't just fill them up with everything, Now, luckily, Arcade What Up hasn't had a ton of offerings as of yet to really make you be like, oh, it's not even really a bad position to be in. It's not a difficult choice to pick out which one you don't want, because there's a lot out there that you really don't want. Most people don't want. And so I think that's, kind of where RK1 unfortunately is at this time. Still some good cabs if you're brand new starting out. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. Starting out, there's a lot of good cabinets still left out there to get if you're starting from square one, if you have nothing. You also have the benefit of not having to go through several iterations of legacy cabs. That's kind of lame too. But yeah, so I think that there's some fun to be had with a 3/4 scope cab, but not yeah. Gotcha. Yep, absolutely. I also love lamps are great. For bug gun pedestal arcade, yes, big gun, not bug. The bug gun is a different one. That's a different one. But yeah, the big gun arcade pedestal is going to be incredibly awesome. I'm very excited about it. Scranton is considered our sister city. I think your airport is actually in Wilkes-Barre, right? Or Wilkes-Barre? Wilkes-Barre? Yeah, I was looking at flying in there actually for work. I ended up going a different direction. Oh no, I had a feeling it was going. It had to go. It had to go. No, it's a Galaga. So hold on. Is a Galaga? No, Galaga guy is not buying it. This is somebody else. This is somebody in Pennsylvania. So Galaga guy usually buys all my stuff. It's a great relationship we have. Not this time. Not this time. So he's gone. So that one's going to be gone for sure, for soon. And it was really fun, but it was either going to be this, either Outrun 2 or Crazy Taxi. Let me know in the comment section right now, which one would you have sold? Outrun 2 or Crazy Taxi? Let me know. Type it. Tell me which one you see. Which one? Did I make the right choice? It's too late now. Can't back out now. But let me know what you think about in the comment section below. Want to know what you think about. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And it's hard to get this. Yeah. Okay. So you would have. Okay. You're saying I should have sold. Yeah. You would have sold it. Okay. Would have sold. Okay. So, we got somebody saying I should have sold Crazy Taxi. I should have sold Crazy Taxi? Sorry. I think I've confused you. Yeah. Which one would you have sold? Not kept, sold. Would you have sold Crazy Taxi or Outrun 2? If you type in Outrun 2, I think you would sell Outrun 2. Well, I mean, come on, that's not going anywhere. No. How dare you? Oh my God. But, well, nothing is outside the realm of possibility, but I couldn't do that. If I sold both, I would not have a driving cab, and I need to have a driving cab. Now, in the future, is it possible that I go a different route and maybe do like another custom driving cab? Potentially, but I really love the form factor of the Crazy Taxi. Now, there is an arcade. You know what? Let me just see if I can pull this up real quick. Okay, there is an arcade racer out there. Let me see if I can just bring this up. I didn't have this prepared, but you know what? We're going to do it anyway. Let's see if I can find it. Where is it? I was just looking at it. Okay, yeah, here it is. It's not the single unit, it's a double. We'll take a look at this. Take a look at this. So this is kind of what I'm thinking. That's the thing. So you want to get that soundtrack. And you can't do that. I'm sure maybe if you emulated the arcade, you could. But it's hard to get that soundtrack. And that's what I really wanted. So, and honestly, the Naomi board is pretty simple. The game boots up quick. You know, the Chihiro board is like a freaking PC in there. It takes a long time to boot up. There's a lot of systems. It's checking IO boards and stuff, and it takes a while to kind of get going. The Naomi just fires up and go, and you're off and running, and you can play. Now there is one game that you can swap out of it. I've got it. It's Safari Jamboree, and I've got it. But for some reason, and it works, except that the lasso effect doesn't work. Now you're supposed to use the stick shift to launch the lasso. I can't get that to work, but I was able to pop the game in and out, switch between Crazy Taxi and Safari Jamboree, and that's kind of cool. But beyond that, that's the only two games you can really do that with on the Naomi platform. So, okay, let me show you. Let me just set up. Show this real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and I want to show you which one was. Here we go. This one. Boom. So this is the kind of one that I've been sort of eyeing and thinking about. And this is, you can see now, forgive the width of the cabinet for just a second. It looks like, you've got these extensions on the left and the right side. If you don't look at the wide screen, look at the actual shape of the cabinet itself. Look at the dash, the Sega dash. That is currently the dash I have right now in my Crazy Taxi cab. That's the same one. That's the same one. So what they did is they just took that same platform and they just put a wide body monitor on that. I've thought about, if I ever got rid of Crazy Taxi, go with something like this. I'd love to find one that wasn't working, and then I could turn this into a multi-cab. That would be really cool. That's the wrong. No, the other grid is also very cool. The midway grid is also very cool, but that's not the driving cab. I'm talking about a driving cab, and I like the Sega cab design. The driving cabs, they're all basically the same. The same pedal setups, the same steering wheels, the steering mechanisms and all that. Basically the same dash too. But the other grid is also pretty cool. So that's what I've been kind of thinking about. If I could find one of these that was, I don't know. If I could find one that wasn't working, that'd be awesome. Now this is the grid. This is a different kind of grid. It's also very fun. I played this over in Galloping Ghost, and it's one of those things that you kind of, the problem with that is you got to have two, right? You really just can't have one. They had a deluxe version of Grid. This is a little bit elaborate, kind of over the top. I don't know that I could actually make that function in my arcade setup. But where's the single seat version? Yeah, here it is. Yeah. So here's like the single seat version of that. You can see it looks very much. What happened there? Oh, just automatically. Yeah. Here's the one player version. Yeah, this is something I could do. I could make that work. I can make that work for a widescreen arcade. I can make that work. The grid game would be fun, but then maybe I could sell the PC inside or whatever's running it, and then maybe turn that back into my custom cab. And it would very much have the feel of an arcade cabinet, because it is an arcade cabinet. Let's see. No, that's 20. The wrong grid. Kind of steering more towards a mod. Yeah, that's what that would be, right? Crazy Taxi is very much of it. It is retro, not as old as some of the other games, not as old as we're not talking about Pole Position or Spy Hunter or anything like that, or it's even going to be newer than Daytona USA and stuff like that. But it's still very much, it's got that iconic shape. It's very much of its time, of its era. The soundtrack bears that out for sure. But this would be something geared toward the newer racers. And, it's like, I don't know how I feel about all that. I'd kind of like maybe. The problem is when you have a good cabinet that you've restored, you hate to break it apart and turn it into something else. I would almost rather sell it and send it on, right, to somebody else to enjoy it as a complete Crazy Taxi cab, and then just start over. I would feel better if I could find maybe a Crazy Taxi or something like that, where the game board was shot and it needs a lot of work. And then I wouldn't feel bad about turning it into something else. And then maybe recreating my Gran Turismo cab, but on the framework of an actual arcade cabinet. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Sure. Why not? How much does that cost? Not all of us, Some of us do, but not all of us have that Stringer Films money. What's going on, JR? Man, good to see you as always. Fox, did you ever miss your custom? Yes, I do. I think that's where my head is at. I think that's why I'm thinking about this, is maybe recreating it, but not just remaking it, because I want it to feel like a real arcade cabinet. I think the only way you can really do that is to start with an arcade cabinet and then graft all that stuff onto it. And then you put in a PC or PlayStation or an Xbox, and away you go. I was at the Galloping Ghost with my daughter. It's just an incredible step back in time. It's an incredible collection of games. It's incredible. It really is awesome. T2 is leaving. Yes, it is leaving. Because I'm getting a multicade, basically, a shooting multicade, and I don't need it anymore. I really don't. And I think that it should go to somebody who will enjoy it and wants it. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. So here we go. What about but yeah, if I go with a multicade, I could make something like that happen. I could incorporate those. Hydro Thunder, if I get a PC running all these things, then now I just have to have a compatible steering wheel and I get it all. And the widescreen, you can then crop some of the 4x3 images and then go wide, or maybe just make it go with the Unico, get that new 30-inch monitor they're coming out with, and then just make a cab in the traditional shape and size, and then I don't have to radically rebuild the thing, and then just put the PC in there, and away you go. And then I can have all those games, all those racing games, because really, you shouldn't need more than a 2-pedal, maybe a 3-pedal setup, some kind of gear shift or lever, and then of course a steering wheel. That's pretty much it. That should cover you for every racing game out there, basically. Give it to me, Fox, for $100. How dare you? How dare you? Definitely sell it before you start. Yeah, I wouldn't feel right about that. I spent all that effort and time basically restoring it. It should leave as a complete unit for somebody else to enjoy, because it's got stock wiring and it's got not a stock monitor anymore, right? But it's the seat setup, the speakers work in the seat. So no, I wouldn't want to chop it up. I would do it if I found some old cab that was in bad shape. Then I would strip it apart, like blast the frame and get the whole thing powder coated, and then build it up from scratch as maybe a multicade. He's getting a big no, not at all. Do whatever you want, but if you ever sell the Big Red, I'm done with you. That will never happen. It's actually funny you bring that up. And you are my SNK brother, my Neo Geo friend. You have the same love that I do. I was thinking about the other day, the cabs that I just couldn't ever, like, something happened, I had to sell everything or whatever, like I could only keep a few cabs, what would I keep? And so you kind of go in order of what you would keep. And I thought Road Blasters would be higher, but it actually turns out, obviously, the Star Wars is, I would keep that, because that's just like a freaking dream come true, right? It's crazy. But then you start thinking about everything else, and Big Red has to stay, but also Big Blue and Astro City. Astro City kind of functions as a retro multicade anyway, because you can just swap out those boards so easily, and it's kind of made to do that. It was never made for just one game or just one type of game. You could swap out the control panels, and it would serve a lot of purpose, or serve like a dual purpose. So that means that Road Blasters would go, and Crazy Taxi would go, and of course the the golden, not the Golden Tee, but the Silver Strike Bowling and the at games and Arcade One Up TMNT, all that stuff would go. But those 4 cabs would stay. So there's no chance. Big Red ain't going nowhere. Big Red, Big Blue, they're just incredible cabinets. Arcade Legacy for sure. Where we at? I think I lost some of the chat. Are you saving? Yes, I'm still saving. No, I'm still saving it. Yeah, that was the first one. That was the first one. Have to be a dramatic change of events for me to do that for sure. NBA playoffs, Knicks are choking right now. I didn't know that. I don't watch basketball, except to make fun of LeBron James. Actually, WNBA is getting a lot of because it's something about when you have a good rivalry, You know, you have Caitlin Clarkson or Caitlin Clark or CC or whatever the hell her name is over in Indiana. They got those girls out there, new draft picks, and you got their arch nemesis, Angel Reese. It's interesting to see those two go back and forth, see all the clips on YouTube and on Facebook and everything. So that's kind of interesting. You know, I think it's probably more interesting right now to me than regular basketball. You can buy a new 3-axis racing sim for half the price of a Stern Pro. You have me intrigued. Maybe I'm going down the wrong path with what I was thinking. That sounds like a really good idea. That's awesome. No one cares about football. He's not talking about Oh, that's awesome. I like the pastimes even more than Galloping Ghosts. Oh, okay, nice. Nice. I haven't been there. I need to check that out for sure. Galaga Guy, B. Kirby, and myself are among 19 KFox Arcade 1-Up by... Yes, you are. You are absolutely. I'm becoming a reseller for sure. Just stick that crazy taxi in a business somewhere and make some coin off of it. Yeah. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. I would have to rebuild the coin mech because I actually took that apart because the whole box was just shattered, and I just made a custom. I just relocated the board inside, and then the coin up buttons and everything. I just swapped those out, but I could rebuild that, I guess, or set it up for free play. I don't know. Man, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad it's still holding up well for you. It was a labor of love for sure. I think you should keep them all. Put some in the living room, garage, bathroom, whatever you need. There's somebody else in the house who would probably have something to say about that. And if it wasn't for that other voice, I wouldn't be selling anything. I would fill up the rest of the basement with arcade machines. That's why I need her in my life to keep me under control. What is the NBA? The WNBA? Great question. It's great. Are they pulling hair? I don't know. To be fair, I never watched the games. I just like the clips of them two going back and forth. It is what it is. And what it also is a $2 super chat coming from Kevin Clausen. Thank you so much for $2 super chat, brother. Good idea, Fox. Add a sports segment to this show. Oh, my God. We got to move on. Half my coin mechs aren't hooked up. Yeah, it's with the Crazy Taxi, it was like a separate pod off to one side that just got destroyed. So I just rebuilt it out of MDF, and I put everything inside with a little door that hides everything. So, masturbate. Yeah, there you go. I think she'd love that. She would absolutely love it. So let's get into some of the stuff that's going on that's wrecking home arcade in some way, shape, or form. We've got some goods, we got some bads, we got some things that are out there that maybe are being unnecessarily delayed. Let's talk about Evercade. Fun stock for certain. Fun stock in particular. Fun stock could be one of the biggest offenders, maybe, perhaps. Let's talk about it. So if you go to their website right now, they say, hey, listen, as soon as the website pops up, you got to look at the very top because it says U.S. customers. You got to click here. You got to read this. And basically when you read that, it says, hey, we're not going to sell to you. No sales, no further pre-orders. This happened a little while back in mid-April. They decided, hey, listen, because of tariffs, we don't know what's going on. We decided to go ahead and stop all sales to the U.S. and stop taking new pre-orders from the U.S. A lot of those, like me, jumped in earlier that month and have a ton of pre-orders now waiting in limbo because I got 3 Super Pockets. I got the red MVS with the case. I got the black MVS inspired by the AES with the case. And then I have another MVS that I was going to give away to one of you lucky viewers in the chat. Now, that is all in limbo. So how long is it in limbo? Well, specifically talking about existing pre-orders. So all of us that made our pre-orders before April 28th, this is what they posted a while back, and this statement had not changed. Here's where it still reads to this day. We are exploring all available options to ascertain what our customers can expect with their pre-orders and will update you on any changes by June 17th. June 17th. We will advise all customers with existing pre-orders what to expect by that date. Please note this pause in service does not affect Canada, Blah, 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 blah. Good job, Canada. You win for once. And I know you're happy. I know you're excited. I'm also happy and excited for another super chat. This is $5 coming from B. Kirby, the Chicago arcade guy. Thank you so much for $5 super chat, brother. Tell Galaga Guy 88 I'll pick up the Tron when I pick up the T2. Give the man a call. Reach out. And yeah, you can just swing by. You can just leave Cincinnati, head on up to just north of Dayton, pick it up there, and head home. I think you guys need to talk. Get it together. And I'm glad I can bring people together. That's the one thing on this show that I'm really proud of, is actually bringing people together, making connections. It's kind of like a dating show, but instead of dating, it's hooking up middle-aged men with arcade cabinets.
Let's go. Wolverine win. Rookie.
And B. Kirby keeps the love going with 5 memberships. Thank you so much for your continued support of the channel, and the memberships are greatly appreciated, man. So let's talk about it. Brooklyn, I tend to agree with you with one caveat. So Brooklyn is saying, hey, I would assume they're going to go ahead and ship our existing pre-orders, because there was a fairly small window, right, when this all happened. A couple weeks, maybe a month. I don't even think it was quite a month. Whenever I'm trying to remember when the pre-orders went live. Well, you know what? Let me tell you. So let me see here. What was it? April 28th. Let me read the statement again. Yeah, April 28th was the day they stopped the pre-orders. Let me go look at my shop app, and we can see that I made my pre-order. Just scroll up. April 1st. That's right. It was April 1st. So it was right at a month, I guess. A little bit less than a month. Whenever they said, hey, listen, we're going to pause everything. So I tend to agree with you, but I think here's what could potentially happen is we would see an increase. They're going to put because they're pre-orders, they're not going to hit us with a 30% increase, but maybe like a 10% surcharge or some kind of something. I think they'll say, hey, listen, we want to honor your pre-orders, but you're going to incur an extra 10%. If you want to keep your pre-order, we'll say, here's the invoice for the 10%. If you don't want to pay the 10%, click this link and we'll issue a refund. And then away you go. It makes a mess for pre-orders because some of these things were sort of, they sold out pretty quickly. All the bundles of the Super Pockets with the cases sold out really quickly. Remember, I was up late or early, depends on how you look at it, watching the pre-orders, and the first ones to go are the bundles with the damn cases because those black cases are sick. The black Super Pocket cases are exactly what they should sell. They should sell that with every single Super Pocket. But the weird console-specific colors, like I have the one for the Capcom, it's ugly. It fits the pocket well, but it is an ugly look. It's an ugly color. It just is. I'm sorry, it is. It's fine for the handheld, but not for the case. You want the case to be subtle, subdued. So it's going to be hectic as hell trying to figure out that stuff, because now, okay, let's say I cancel all my pre-orders. Okay, now that goes. Is that going to go back into regular inventory? Is that just going to pop up one day and then to be snapped up by somebody? How is that going to work? That's going to be a pain for sure. And I think that is some of the reason why I agree with you. They're probably going to go ahead and ship those pre-orders. They've taken the pre-orders. The paperwork's done. It's going to be less of a pain in the ass to go ahead and just ship them out, add a little charge, call it the tariff, surtax, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure some people make it political. I'm not going to do that here. We'll talk about that on the after show. We get extremely political there. If you remember, you'll be privy to all that good stuff. But I tend to agree with you, but I do think we could see some kind of a charge. A small charge, but it could be some sort of charge to kind of offset some of the cost. But the restocking thing would just be a pain in the ass. So I tend to agree with you, but I think that we could see some kind of charge for sure. Buy arcades made in America. And you won't have to worry about tariffs. That's why I'm going with Big Gun Games in Florida. Thank you, Fernando. Hooking me up. He does have a competitor over in the UK that's kind of doing the same thing. But I like the styling of Big Gun Games better. I also like the fact that they are in the States and you can arrange freight shipping, and it's not it's not really a question. You can kind of figure that out pretty easily. And if you go with something like Fastenal, tends to be the way to go. That's what I use to ship my other road blasters down to Molar Medic, and then also to send this cabinet out. Outrun 2 is going to go via Fastenal. So, there's what that is. James has mirrors instead of TVs. I'm not going to put them in a box. To each their own. I might be in the minority, but I'm perfectly happy with the home arcade I have. If someone releases something good, then I'll buy it, but could care less if they don't release anything. Four Horsemen, I think you're kind of, I'm also right there with you. I was sort of tired of the titles not coming, you know? The variety that I wanted was kind of specific, and that's what got me sort of go back into look into regular cab. I thought, well, maybe I could do a mix. And then I figured out that the mix just didn't really work, and I can accomplish things. I could actually accomplish more than I thought with full-size arcades. So I kind of got out of it completely. But beyond a few cabinets that I really wanted, that I knew they just weren't coming, I had a pretty good collection. And many of you have a pretty good selection too, especially if you bought every single cab. Let's say you have all the current deluxe models. You've got Big Buck Hunter. You know, if you held on to T2, you still got T2s. There's a couple gun games there. You have Time Crisis. You're going to have Fast and Furious. If you like that. If you like knockoff non-arcade ROMs, there is that. I mean, you probably, if you're smarter than me, you probably kept Star Wars, you know, and you didn't sell it because you thought that an XL was coming. And there are some XL cabinets that you probably were able to get your hands on too. So you got a decent variety. You really did. Even if you just bought whatever that they had available. Not bad. So I see your point too. Just pay 5 times the price. Why not? Why pay average price when you can pay above average price? It's definitely dating. Absolutely. Welcome to Cab Connection. Cabinet number 1. Spent most of his time in a Pizza Hut in the back alley. Cab number 2 spent most of his time next to a claw machine. And there's a lot of gum on the bottom. You can just go on and on. That could be a skit. We could actually do that. So yeah, so that's kind of where we're at on Fun Stock. I tend to agree that they're probably going to ship those out for existing pre-orders, but I think we could see a surcharge. I think there's also a big chance that everything gets restored. Prices increase slightly, but they just say, okay, we've got it figured out. Resume pre-orders, resume sales to the U.S. The only reason Fun Stock is really a big deal is because of their exclusives. You know, you can't get some of the stuff other places. You have to go to Fun Stock to get the MVS styled version of the Super Pocket. If you want those cases, you got to go to Fun Stock. If you want the Evercade hat, you got to go, you know, to Fun Stock. So it's kind of crazy. They do have something going on the 28th, I believe, or the 29th. Let me see. Let me check my phone real quick. I apologize. I should have had this pulled up. But that's okay. We're going over to the 19K Fox channel. He's got cool posts. Look at this guy. They are having, their showcase is on the 29th at 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm curious to find out. This is Evercade I'm talking about. Evercade showcase. And they tend to be pretty good presentations. Kind of have a more of a Nintendo kind of PlayStation kind of high level feel for sure. They don't feel like some knockoff generic game company. They tend to have a pretty good showcase, which has some pretty good information. Obviously, last time we had a lot of hardware announcements. I'm hoping that on the 29th, we will actually get some concrete answers about the pricing and then how that's going to affect the new cartridges that they're going to announce moving forward. You know, maybe it'll just be subtle and you won't even really notice it, except for when they actually bring up the prices. You know how they usually have the showcase. They'll bring up, here's an item and here's like the 3 prices. It's like, it's the UK pricing, you know, and it's US pricing, and then it's Euro, I think that's what it is. So it's pounds, euro, dollars. I think is what it usually is. And those are your 3 prices. I think you'll have to look and see. Maybe we'll see the US pricing be like a couple bucks more. And then that's how they kind of account for the tariffs and everything's fine. It could just be that simple, you know? And maybe the reason why we had this delay is just because of the uncertainty. And I get that. I can't really be too hard on them for that. So we're about 45 minutes in. Let's go ahead and do, I talked about it at the top of the show. We're going to have a giveaway tonight. I want to go ahead and give you the opportunity to go ahead and jump in there and start voting, because I want everybody to get a chance to win an item from my merch store. So tonight we're going to do it. Go ahead and get your fingers ready. Going to type in the hashtag as it follows. I'm going to go ahead and present this real quick. Share my screen. You're going to have to type it in the chat just like you see it. Okay, just like you see it. And it is right here. Hashtag some gave all. Hashtag some gave all. Type that in the chat, and at the end of the show, we're going to do a drawing, and then whoever wins is going to be able to just send me an email saying, hey, listen, this is my YouTube handle, and tell me what you want, and tell me where you want it delivered to. So it's just that simple. So type in hashtag some gave all, no spaces, all lowercase, one word, and then you'll be entered to win something from my store. Now, once again, you type that hashtag in, and then all you got to do is just email me at 19kfox1@gmail.com. Let me know your YouTube handle. Let me know your name, your address, and whatever it is you want. One item, I don't care what it is, from the store. And if you want to know where the store is, if you want to look before you even consider jumping in on this opportunity, it's the pinned comment in the chat right now. Go check it out. Go check it out. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and remove that for now. Remember, it's hashtag some gave all. I'll bring it back up a little bit later in the show, and we'll talk about it. Let's talk about something else. Another crazy home arcade guy. Glenn. It appears that the Kickstarter is on. It's coming out in June. Now, there is no link to this as of right now. So I'm assuming when we hit June, you'll be able to actually, I'm sure Glenn is going to provide a link that we can go over there and back his Build-A-Cade FU. The biggest, the baddest, the bestest multi-cade possible. You're going to have a lot of infrastructure with this cabinet. You're going to have a base cabinet. You're going to have a couple different monitor options. You're going to have different control panels and decks to swap in. Now, what's the total cost of all this going to be? There's been speculation out there. This could be $2,000 or $3,000 depending on how much you pre-order or purchase or back or whatever. We don't know how it's going to be structured as of yet, but it looks like the tariff talk does not have everyone completely discouraged. So it looks like next month we're going to be able to back the FU from GRS. My money is ready for Glenn, and I'm going to sell my ALU. Well, let's talk about the ALU. You're gonna sell your ALU. I'm assuming you're going to keep your 4KP, but what if you're wanting to get a 4KP? This goes into the old price hike portion of the title of the show. This is getting a little bit weirder. So let's go on over and check out our buddies at Games and their ever-changing price structure. Because it does tend to be, let me just kill that. It tends to be a little confusing, but let's check it out. Let's see if we can make sense of it tonight. So here is the page. Sharing this live. We're doing it live. Can I put myself? Yeah, let's do that. That's a little bit better. So here are the pinball machines. Now, we talked about the price hike before, but not everything is applicable and not everything is available. So let's just start with, let's see, how's this showing up over there? Yeah. So let's just start with our, I guess, the first out of the gate, right? Which is the Addams Family. Scroll down here, and there are different packages available. So you have to make a selection, right? So click on whichever one. Now, we talked about this before. $1,600 is just the bare bones to get you started. Click on that. You can add that to the cart. It is available. If you add the SSF kit to that, it bumps you up to $2,000, over $2,000, and it's still available. You can add that to the cart. If you want to go premium standard, $1,900, $1,850, you can add that to your cart right now. If you want to go with premium deluxe, not available as of right now, but that's basically everything all in one, right? SSF kit, topper, all that stuff. So you have some options when it comes to the Addams Family version. Let's say you want to check out the Peanuts version. Okay, well maybe I want the yellow one. The yellow one's pretty cool. Let's see what they have available here. And the price is lower, right? Well, not really. So check out the pricing. Okay, so there's no SE version. There's no starter version, but there are premium versions. Okay, well let's go ahead and I kind of wanted this one anyway. Let's check on that. Oh, it's coming soon. And that price sure does look nice, especially when you consider the price of this version, the premium starter of the Addams Family. Wow, I thought that was going to be the price. Looks like it is, because although this does look nice, although this price is still up here, it's not available. Neither one is available. So they haven't updated the website. They haven't updated inventory to coincide with it. Looks like some of these graphics are new, but none of this is available. Okay, so all we can get right now is an Addams Family. What about the Dino Dynasty? I know everybody's big on that one, right? He said sarcastically. Once again, only two options are going to be your premium, standard, premium deluxe. Okay, so you can go ahead and get a premium standard. Let's get a premium deluxe. You can actually get it here. So you can't get the premium deluxe with a skin you might actually want, like Addams Family, but you can't get it here. Once again, no starter versions though. Okay, what about Star Trek? Let's check out Star Trek. What do we got here? Once again, only standard options, or premium versions, with the old pricing. And of course, no, none of this is available. Okay, so now we only have two options here, and they both look very similar. And some of the versions aren't quite there. The only one right now we've seen so far that you can actually get with the SSF kit built in is Dino Dynasty. Okay, all right, well, let's check out the real Dino Dynasty. Let's check out Jurassic Park. Ooh, SE? Uh-oh. That's telling us something right now. Only starters available. Okay, well, I guess I'll stick with the premium starter. I get the no topper, and it's just the basic version, and it's $1,600. Well, you can also get the starter with the SSF kit installed, okay, but there's no option for something with a topper. But if you go, and this is weird, if you go to the accessories, the 4K pinball accessories, you can buy the topper. You can go right now and buy the topper. So why aren't they making this available, the premium versions available here? If the only real physical difference is going to be the topper, why not just make those available? But you gotta buy it separately. So, okay. Another way to kind of nickel and dime you. What about the one that I got? In my opinion, the best looking, it is Attack from Mars. Come on. There we go. Attack from Mars. Here we go. We got some gold. Look at that. All right. The old pricing is still up. We got to go and take advantage of this. Oh, sorry. No. Not going to happen. And out of stock here. And or coming soon there. And out of stock. So old pricing is still up, but it's not available. They haven't even bothered to change the pricing on these yet. So what does that mean? Okay, what about Sea of Thieves? I guess we'll just have to go with this one. And, well, nothing. Nothing. No options, no packages, and it's coming soon. So, I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. You tell me and we'll both know. I don't even understand what they're doing. We know the price hikes happen, okay? We knew they were coming. They told us about them. They came. But now not all the products are even available. So it doesn't even really get to be about money. I mean, if it's just about money, then why wouldn't everything be available in some way, shape, or form? But it's not even available. You haven't even built the machines. Are they not ready to go? Are you going to discontinue some of these? Are we going to get a KI version and we're going to have one of these going to have to go so the KI can replace that? Way too many questions. So I don't know. So sadly, I think that the best time to get in on the 4KP is probably behind us, because even if they come out with some other cool skin, the new prices are going to stay in effect. They're never going to drop those prices. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen unless it makes it to retail. But that's about it. So sadly, I think that it's, yeah, you can't even get one. Not even possible. So it's not even about the money. All the stock stuff still shows the old price. Yeah, the old stuff shows the old price, but it's not available. But even some of the new stuff that shows the new price is also not available and only available in some configurations. And how can I get one with the SSF kit built in, but not a topper that I can currently buy separately? It's very confusing. It's very confusing. And I don't, like I said, I really don't see an end in sight. I really don't see the best time to get in on this is probably way behind us. Usually these prices dip over time. You see them come down a little bit, but I don't know. So the price hikes are kind of not making much sense to me. But what really doesn't make sense to me is the availability of some of these products. Like you jack the price up, well then, I mean, that should justify you having something in stock. At least one version of every single skin. I don't get it. I don't get it. So that's messed up. What's the fix there? I have no idea. I don't know what that is. The price hike was supposed to counteract the actual prices of all the tariffs and stuff, right? So what does all this mean? And this is also not a good sign. I was going to bring this up too. Kevin beat me to the punch. John Wagner was only there a year. Now, a year? That tells me right there that things didn't work out for a very good reason. I mean, something, it wasn't like just, I just got tired of it. I'm bored. Let's go on. Something was not what someone was promised, in my opinion. In my opinion. I think that maybe, just maybe, there was a lot of buildup to this product. There was a lot of investment. And then you can see it all sort of falling flat right now. I don't know what's going on with Ed Games at all. I like my machine. I like the games that are coming in. Well, they never should have done that from the beginning. They didn't really need that. Listen, I've said the same thing about Arcade 1-Up. You don't really need influencers. We're going to talk about this stuff regardless. You have a YouTube channel. Just have one person in-house that handles your social media and your marketing and have them just cut trailers together. Do it all in-house. You don't need influencers. You just don't. Because listen, somebody like me may be free, right? And maybe you send them a pinball machine every once in a while, and that's the payment, right? But you can't control the messaging. Not really. You really can't have it on lockdown. You really can't control all the production. You don't get to make any of the creative decisions. Not really. I guess. I'm not in their influencer group. Maybe you do. I don't know. But I think you don't need anybody. Just cut your own internal trailers and just do it and put it on your YouTube page, your YouTube channel, and leave it at that. I mean, go ahead and put it on your social media. So Facebook is included, Instagram, all that. We'll talk about it anyway. So I don't know. I've never understood that. But I don't know what role Wagner really was serving. So I wish him the best. I think it does suck to get a job and then lose it a year later, regardless of what it was or what happened. It's obviously not good. It's not like, hey, I signed up for a 1-year contract. It's over. They're not going to renew my contract. But hey, I can't. You kind of think about that. You entertain both options going in. So that sucks. Yeah. Communication seems to be the biggest Achilles heel for all these companies, and I don't understand why. It's the simplest thing to do. With so many ways to communicate to your audience directly, I don't understand how companies can screw this up so bad. You have social media. You can have in-house marketing. They can cut together trailers, and you can have live streams, and it's all done in-house. This is one thing that iArcade did pretty well, I think, when they would do them. Just my 2 cents. Or some members get bitter because you didn't drink the Kool-Aid and get you kicked out. Yeah, well, that's also a big reason why, maybe not a big reason, but it's a reason why, part of marketing is to keep up the illusion that we love our customers and we're making it all for them. Listen, at the end of the day, they're trying to sell you something and save money. You can apply that to anybody, anywhere, anything. But the social media and the marketing is supposed to keep up this illusion that we're making the best thing we can possibly make for you because we love you and we care about you deeply. you're not, that doesn't, it's not going to be cohesive when you're kicking people out of groups and controlling what people say and getting mad, blah, 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 whining and crying like a baby, and then trying to sneak around and find out what people are saying. It's just, you don't need that. You need to just focus on your product and then your in-house marketing. That's it. That's all you need. Don't even talk to influencers. Let us just be fans and talk about your product. And you don't have to pay us a dime. You don't have to give any product away. You don't have to worry about it. And then you have plausible deniability. Well, they're not really affiliated with us. So if they're saying insane stuff, doesn't matter. So I don't know. It's just, these companies are kind of weird, to be honest with you. Someone blew up the Death Star. They did. Wasn't me. I was right here the whole time. It was right here all the time. Such a garbage company that they let non-employees run their official Facebook page and don't allow anyone to, it doesn't make any sense to me. It never made any sense to me. You're far too sensitive. If you want to control the message, then control the message. Have everything emanate and come from in-house. Don't let it just be the wild, wild west out there. And yes, apples don't kill oranges. Take that to heart. I don't know. I have no idea what you're referring to. So there's that. And then of course we got to talk about Iconic. What kind of missions will they take on? Oh my God. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What kind of missions will they take on? No, click on the link. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. Oh, you're talking about Mercenaries. I got you. Speaking of Mercenaries, great game on PS2. The sequel for PS3 was awesome. Awesome. Merc? Huh? Sorry. But let's talk about, listen, we got to talk about Iconic Arcade. I know some people get very upset. We get very tribal. Some people treat this stuff like a religion where you can't speak negatively against the religion of insert company name here. But we're going to do that tonight. We're going to do that tonight because we're going to talk about stuff for the reals, yo. That's a separate link. You only get that if you're a member. So let's go ahead and talk about it, guys. What is there left to say? The link to their product has been dead, even though the page is up and looking great. Still looking good. You can't click on anything. You got to go to the VMI website. We have John D showing up with his badge, talking about licensing. I've seen since January, guys. Let me just be honest with you. And if you get upset, you get upset. You're gonna have to just put your big boy pants on and deal with it. Since January, I haven't seen anything. We've not seen one thing about the product that they asked us to back. We haven't seen one thing about the product that they asked us to pre-order. They took at least $350 of some of your money, and they haven't shown you anything. Nothing. There's been no update. The only update is, hey, it's coming out. We've moved it to Q4 of 2025, but don't worry, it's coming out. But it is going to change, and price may go up too. Oh, by the way, we're going to go ahead and pause pre-orders right now. So they didn't tell us anything, and then as soon as they told us something, they stopped pre-orders. So pre-orders are now they're not even available. So even if your statement puts some people at ease and convince them to buy or pre-order, the option isn't there because you took it away. These are actions that you took, that the company took. I don't know who specifically took these actions, but these are the actions that were taken. This is what we're left to sort of, this is the evidence we have to kind of comb over and figure out, is it worth jumping in? Now, I have not pre-ordered the cabinet yet. I plan to pre-order the cabinet. I have a spot set aside for the little fighting cabinet that looks like a little, Dynamo HS1. But I liked what I saw, but what I saw was not what was available for pre-order. It's not. That's not what's available for pre-order. And it's also not worth, what I saw is not worth the price tag, $700. It was very much a prototype. It's not ready for prime time. There's no UI. The build quality, the guts underneath was all very prototypey. All this is fine. But now here we are, 6 months later, and there's no new information about that product. Now, I don't care if that hurts your feelings, just get over it. That's just the fact, right? Now, the support that I'm providing for the product right now is continuing to talk about it and giving you all my 2 cents and telling you about the passion behind the project. John D's got nothing but passion. I have no doubt about that. That's one thing that's not in question, is the passion and the push for authenticity. But that does not mean that there's going to be perfect follow through to provide a great product, or even the product that we are being promised. So as of now, my advice to you is still the same: don't pre-order. I mean, not until you see enough to justify it. We still don't know what we're getting. We still don't know about the art for Street Fighter 2. We don't know where the seam is going to be, because the side panel is going to be 2 pieces. We don't know what the user interface is going to be. We don't know what the final games list is going to be. We don't know all this stuff, guys. We don't know what the actual sticks are going to be, the controls. We don't know what these things are going to be. We just don't. So until I get answers, I'm not going to recommend anybody pre-order this. Now, if you want to pre-order, congratulations. More power to you. If you love it, if you like it, great. Do your thing. And maybe when it comes time to pre-order for me, when I'm satisfied, the price goes up. But for me, that's okay. I would rather pay a little bit more because I have the peace of mind knowing exactly what I'm purchasing. I've been burned by these companies too many times by just taking something on faith. They always do things a certain way. They won't deviate from that at all. Oh, Fast and Furious, where we just made up a bullshit crap game. Just a garbage game that wasn't even the real arcade ROM, and sold it to you. Didn't even tell you how to link them. We had to figure it out. And $1,000 later, $1,200 later, you're left disappointed and heartbroken. So I don't take anything for granted. I don't just assume anything, especially when it's a brand new company that hasn't produced anything yet. So we just don't know. There was a statement, John D's out trying to get licensing, but let me ask you something about the licensing. What does that have to do with the product that already had the license required to come to fruition and come to market? Nothing. So if anything, the licensing that he's doing is for something new. I don't care about that right now. I care about the one thing that is available, or was available for pre-order right now. Tell me about that. I mean, until there's a Gen 1, I can't be excited about Gen 2 or another variant of Gen 1. We haven't seen it. We haven't seen it complete. We just haven't. So, to me, there's too many reasons to just not. Don't even take the chance. Wait until they give us more information. Of course, you're going to have to wait because now pre-orders aren't even available. That's just my 2 cents. No arcade 1-up is worth more than 1,000. Well, I bought 2. I bought 2 to link them together. So, what can you do? What can you do? It is what it is, and it is what it is. It definitely is what it definitely is. Speaking of being is what it is, everybody, some gave all. Hashtag some gave all. That is the code. That is the hashtag you want to type in to be entered to win the item from my merch store. Not my merch store. No, we're not going to go assassinate anybody yet. We'll do that a little bit later. Right now we have 45 entries. We can do better than that. Come on. 45 entries. I'll give you a few more seconds, and we're going to go ahead and do the drawing. Everybody jump in now. Hashtag some gave all for a chance to win any item from my merch store. Anyone. Okay. 48. Come on. Let's get two more. There you go. 49. Get up there. Let's do it. Get those entries up there. Make it interesting. Can we get to 50? There we go. 50. Okay. And here we go. Boom. Who's going to win? Who is going to make the cut? Is it going to be odds? Who? Hey! Josh McKinley. There you go, Josh. All right. Let me write this down. You have won. It's the first time I've seen that name. Congratulations, Josh. If you're in the chat right now, congratulations. And let me see. Are you still here? Josh, if you're here, type a 1 in the chat. I want to make sure you're here so that I can give you all the information on how to claim your prize. Is there a Josh in the house? You didn't win a brand new stop. Don't say that. This guy's gonna be expecting a brand new car. Josh, if you're in the chat, say something. Type a 1. There we go. You got it, buddy. I just want to make sure you're still there, man. Okay, so this is all you got to do, Josh. This is all you got to do. Let me go ahead and just stop sharing that. All you got to do. Congratulations once again. Go up there. So you can click on the link right now. It's in the pin comment in the actual chat over on the right hand side. Click on that. Go up there. Pick out any one item you want. I don't care what it is. Hat, hoodie, shirt, whatever. Sticker, whatever you want. And then email me once you figure out exactly what you want. Just email me. Let me go ahead and show you this. Email me at 19kfox1@gmail.com. Let me know, hey, this is Josh McKinley from the YouTube channel. I won. Thanks so much. Here's my name, address, and the description of the thing you want. So if it's like a t-shirt, tell me the style, tell me the color, tell me all that stuff. So I want to make sure I get the right thing to you. And you're going to be happy and be thankful that you're not stuck with the other store that I had that evident Teespring was bad. Hey, there's my girl. Becky, how are you? It's so good to see you. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, go for the hoodie. Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Take your time. No rush. Yes. Or get a onesie. But I'm not going to put you in a box. Do what you want to do. But yeah, I think it's going to be way better. Your experience is going to be way better than the other store. Teespring was garbage. This is TeePublic, so it should be much better. But just go in there, check out, take your time, get what you want, and then shoot me that email with all your information. Congratulations again on the win. Now, who's going to win in the arcade wars, the home arcade wars? Will it survive? Well, I've said this many times. Many times. Home arcade will never die. Home arcades have been around about as long as actual arcades. The first time somebody saw an arcade machine in an arcade setting or in a Pizza Hut or wherever, they said, I want one in my house. And that's how long home arcades have been around. Almost as long as actual arcades have been around. So the hobby will never die. The pursuit of emulating that will never die. People are going to be buying real machines. People are going to be modifying real machines. People are going to be doing PC builds to simulate the machine from back in the day. B Kong has a great channel where he made his own little battle pod at the house. You're going to have Misters and FPGA. Isn't that golf? I don't know. So you're going to have all these options out there. You're also going to have just straight up arcade collections on consoles. You're going to have the aftermarket or the third party market for arcade one-ups and at games products is going to be around for a long time because they made a ton of these out there. So even if they stop production today, there's going to be plenty of that stuff going on in the future for sure. So that's the reality. Oh, and don't forget, they actually sold home edition cabs that didn't take coins. Yeah, they were set to free play only. Exactly. They were selling those, and then Namco still does that to this day. So you can still go out and get those things. So it's always home arcade will always be here because the love for arcades will always be here. It's never going to die. It's never going to go away. Its shape, its form will change from time to time. But these home arcade companies, will they survive? 2025 is turning out to be a tougher year than I think most of us thought. And home arcade products, they hit at the right time. But man, when they finally hit the wall, The wall could be 2025, and it could absolutely be the end of the whole damn thing as far as these companies go. And if that's the case, listen, hang on to your Trons, hang on to your Star Wars, hang on to your rare arcade one-ups, because they're going to be worth a lot of money. Just a crap ton of money. Maybe as much or more than their real-life counterparts. And in the case of Tron, it's a damn shame. Because that cabinet, if you can find it, it's tough to maintain. There's all those boards. There's a lot of problems with that real cabinet. Arcade One-Up made something that's pretty cool, but not perfect. If we could see another recreation of that, whether it was an Arcade One-Up XL version of it, another company coming in and making a premium version of something like that, that's the way that cabinet lives on. And so many people aren't going to get that experience. And that's one thing that these home arcade companies did, is they allowed us to get a little taste of that and make it affordable for people who never could even have dreamed about having a real machine in their apartment in New York, or they just didn't have enough money, no matter if they had a big house or not. They just didn't have the money, didn't have the room, didn't have the know-how, didn't have the, maybe that was just too much. Maybe they just wanted something that they could just take out of the box and put together and play. And that is what these companies provided. And that may be diminished. Probably not dead, but it may be diminished. But the love for home arcades is probably not going to be diminished anytime soon. At least as long as people like us are still alive. Would you look at that?
What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
Okay, unfortunately, it is that time to go ahead and wrap it up. Once again, members, stay right here. You're going to be automatically redirected to the after show where we can talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about, all kind of stuff, some behind-the-scenes stuff, and maybe some rumors and speculation. That's always fun. But before we go, let's talk about the poll question. We got to answer the poll question, or I got to see your answers to the poll question. Last chance to go ahead and jump in the poll question and vote. The question was, which company do you want to see survive the most in 2025? You had 4 options, 120 votes, not too shabby. Let's go ahead and end the poll right now. And let me go ahead and capture this so I can post it later. Waiting for it to come up. Go all the way down. There we go. Click that. And let's go ahead and click that. And we are good. Okay, so the results are as follows. Coming in dead last place, this company had the lead in the very beginning. With only 18% of the vote is Basic Fun. That's the one I thought that maybe should have been number 1, because the unknown, I don't know. So Basic Fun, 18%, very bottom. Then it all gets tight after here. 25% you say 25% you say Iconic Arcade. You want them to succeed. 26% of you say At Games. That means that our Arcade One-Up wins the day with 29%. A lot of you still have hope for Arcade One-Up. I would have voted for Basic Fun just because they seem to have the most momentum. They seem to be the one that was going to make a direct competition product to Arcade One-Up. And I think that there was more hope there as far as what could be done. But maybe, just maybe, the love for Arcade One-Up is just too strong. And maybe Arcade One-Up can get their stuff together. Perhaps. That's kind of what a near-death experience will do for you. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the channel. Next week, I'm not going to be back. I got to take one more Sunday off. My son is graduating high school on that Sunday, so we're going to be slammed. Lots to do. So unfortunately, I won't be here next week, but I will be here the following week. And I hope everybody else will come right back here. I'll see you next time. Peace.